What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to XJW Diaries. My name is Justin. So we are now well into the month of October, which means at the very end of the month, on the 31st, we will be having the Be Free 2023 XJW demonstration right in front of the White House in Washington, D.C. Now, this event is very, very big and very, very important for the XJW community and even people that are not Jehovah's Witnesses, but are involved in other high control groups. This event goes above religion, but I'll go into that later on. But since it's only a few weeks away, I wanted to come on here and talk about what this event is all about, what this event is not about, and some general expectations of what this event could actually realistically accomplish. So let's dive into this Be Free 2023 event coming up in just a few weeks. So for those of you that have not heard about this event, Be Free 2023 is an organized protest taking place right in front of the White House. It's happening on October 31st from around 10 a.m. to around 3:47 p.m. Now, this is a legal protest, okay? We've got the permits in place with Homeland Security. Homeland Security will be on site to make sure everything goes smoothly. So again, this is right in front of the White House, so this has to be done right. Now, our main missions for this protest, and here's the invitation, is to number one, put an end to the concealment of child sexual abuse in high control groups and religious institutions. Number two is to spread awareness about the shunning and disfellowshipping of these groups, which deprives members of their right to religious freedoms. And number three is to promote harmony, equality, and well-being for all human beings, and to safeguard the rights of children and religious members. So some very, very important topics being discussed here. Again, I'm really looking forward to it. This is very, very important for the XJW community to be able to get our words, our story out there to the general public, to the media, and to the lawmakers, because that's really what this event is all about, is reaching those people, the lawmakers, the general public, and the media. We're not doing this event to reach the Watchtower. The Watchtower won't listen, okay? We've been talking to them for years. For years, activists have been out here making videos, demonstrating in front of conventions, making books. The Watchtower does nothing. So we got to talk to the people that can do something. We know that the shunning that the Jehovah's Witnesses practice has resulted in suicides, many suicides, globally. Putting somebody in that level of isolation, stripping them away from their family, their friends, their entire community, their whole support network is inhumane, and it has led people to a point where they just cannot deal with it anymore. They can't live with it anymore. Furthermore, this shunning, it holds people in a religion that they don't believe in. This is the whole reason that a PMO exists, because even though they don't believe in the religion anymore, they have to pretend like they're still in. They got to still go through the motions. They still have to give the Watchtower their time, which they can never get back, because they know that if they don't follow along, what happens? The Watchtower will hold their family hostage. Let's just call it what it is. They will hold their family hostage. You either join us or we keep everybody that you care about. And the other big issue is, of course, they're hiding pedophiles. The way that they deal with CSA issues, it's just not right. It's not right at all. Now, you probably heard me say this before, so I apologize for repeating myself. And I have to apologize in advance, because if you go to the event, you'll probably hear me say this again. But this is really worth repeating. It's worth shouting from the rooftops, because it makes no sense. So let's go into it. If you have two people, okay, and both people commit this horrible crime of hurting a child in this way, abusing a child in this way. And let's just cut out the whole two witness rule thing here for a second. let's just say that in both cases, it is known for a fact that this happened to this child from this person. Okay? Now, person A is just a regular average Joe. So when he gets found out, guess what happens? They call the police. He gets to go to jail. Now, after he gets out of jail, he will have to register as a sex offender. Now, when you register as a sex offender, that means that you are not allowed to work in a school, work in a daycare. You're not allowed to use public swimming pools and things of that nature. Basically, society is setting up walls for you to make it harder for you to hurt other children in that same way. Now, let's jump over to person B, who just happens to be a Jehovah's Witness. Now, for person B, he may or may not get disfellowshipped. Now, after being shunned for 1 or 2 years, he's invited right back in. The general congregation, unless somebody talks, they will have no idea what happened. They will have no idea that this person has this sort of attitude towards children. They will have no idea. Furthermore, that person will not be reported to the authorities 9 times out of 10. If you don't believe me, please do your own research. This stuff is easily able to be found on Google. Very quick, 5-minute Google search, and you'll be wowed at the stuff that's going on in this organization. Now, in the many cases where this happens with a Jehovah's Witness, where they get disfellowshipped, but nothing else happens, the elders decide that they will keep a close eye on this person. But what happens when that person moves to another congregation? Well, it may be on their publisher card, but how many times have those publisher cards gotten lost? I know that happened to me and my family. Our entire family's publisher card got lost, moving to a congregation that was only maybe 20 minutes away. But let's just say things go perfectly. Let's just say their publisher card does not get lost. Let's say the letter of introduction does happen in the right way, and this new congregation is aware of who they have in their midst. Well, now it's up to that new elder body to decide how close they're going to watch this person. And furthermore, the elders can only watch this person when they're at the Kingdom Hall. What happens at assemblies? What happens at conventions? Since this person does not have to be registered as a sex offender because it's not being reported to the police, that means this person can continue working as a teacher. They can continue working in a daycare. They can continue going to public parks and doing all these things that put them right in arm's reach of yet another victim. And furthermore, they're not going to appear on any databases of known offenders, right? So if you're looking for a new home and you have a family that you want to protect and you don't want to move too close to a known offender, well, person A, who had to register, he will appear on those lists. But person B, who was only disfellowshipped, who only had to face discipline within his religious organization, he's not going to appear on any list. So you may move right next door to that person. And that's why this event is so important. We are going above religion here. Again, this event is not about bashing the Watchtower. This event is not about any one religion. We have to get these laws changed. We have to get mandatory reporting required in all 50 states. It's got to be done. There's no reason not to do it. Really, there's no reason not to do it. We got to stop this clergy confidentiality clause thing. That just makes no sense at all. We got to close this loophole once and for all. In all 50 states, it's got to be closed. We cannot have this case where, again, person A is a normal average Joe, not in a religion, he goes to jail. Person B is in a religion, he gets disfellowshipped, but other than that, he goes free for the same crime. That makes no sense. That makes no sense at all. And if you do not understand the gravity of that situation, if you don't understand the seriousness of that, I'm very sorry. And with all due respect, you are on the wrong channel. You should probably unsubscribe. You should probably feel free, go ahead, hit that thumbs down on your way out if you need to. But you are in the wrong place. This is very serious. And again, it goes above religion. This is for everybody here. This is why we can say that this protest is for the love of humanity. That may sound like a big idea. That may sound like something you can just read off the postcard or something, but that's the truth. It really is. If our event reaches the right people, if we put pressure on the right people, we can get this law passed, which will help children, not only in the witnesses, but in all religious groups and non-religious groups. Now, when this event was first being talked about much earlier in the year, I think it was first talked about around February, maybe January, actually. I know that there was some concern about the event being on October 31st, right? If the event was on October 21st, there probably wouldn't be as much concern. But of course, the 31st just so happens to be Halloween Day. And being from the Jehovah's Witnesses, for some people out there, that still kind of holds some negative feelings. But I just want to say once and for all, this event has nothing at all to do with Halloween. Nothing at all to do with Halloween. This event is happening again from 10 a.m. to 3:47 p.m. So this is a daytime event. Halloween is a nighttime thing. We're doing this during the daytime, during business hours, to handle our business and get our message out there. So if this event being on Halloween is the only thing stopping you from going, I wouldn't ask you to do anything that's uncomfortable for you. But if that's the only thing, I would just ask, please just give it some thought. We are not in the Watchtower anymore. We don't have to continue to adopt how they tell us to feel about certain days or certain events. That's their feelings. Now that we are out, we have the ability to think for ourselves, and you can decide for yourself if it's something that you feel comfortable with or not. But please don't let the Watchtower influence you on this thing. Because again, this is above religion. And this is very, very important topics. And we got to be able to stand together and fight this thing together. Now, at the same time, since it is on the 31st, on Halloween Day, that does mean that if you are someone who is PMO, physically in, mentally out, and you would like to take part in this event, you can. Because on that day, you can wear a mask or kind of dress up and disguise yourself so you can protect your identity and still be able to take part in this very important event. You know, normally when it comes to events like this, if you're a PMO, you're stuck on the sidelines. Really, for any activism, you're stuck on the sidelines as a PMO person. But with this, because it is on that day, even though it has nothing to do with Halloween, because it is on that day, you do have that excuse to wear something. Although we would ask, since we're talking about CSA, we're talking about shunning, we're talking about very, very serious topics there, we would just ask that if you are going to dress up, to just make sure that it's something that would be appropriate at an event like that. Now, the other thing that we want to stress again is that this is a very peaceful, respectful event. You know, that word protest has gotten such a bad rap. But let me make it very, very clear. At this event, we are not there to cause any trouble. We're not there to cause a disturbance. We are there simply to share our message and to spread awareness in a way that reaches the media, the general public, and the lawmakers. That's what we're there for. So, and again, Homeland Security will be right there on site to make sure everybody behaves themselves. So we got to make sure that this is done right, because even though this is not about religion, we do know that since we're a group of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, if this thing doesn't go right, guess who that makes look good? The Watchtower. They would love to see that. They would love to be able to put in their next magazine or put in their next drama some example of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses apostates causing a ruckus at the Capitol. They would love to talk about that. We're not going to give them that chance. We're going to come there, we're going to do our job, we're going to handle our business, and then we're going to move on peacefully. Now, if you're planning to go to the event, please check out the Be Free 2023 website. I'll put a link down in the description. On that website, the organizer of the event has updated things with resources, signage recommendations, and many, many other things that will be useful to you if you plan on attending. And for those of you that cannot make the event, not to worry, there will be a live stream right here on this channel, and I'm sure there will be many other channels that will also have live streams set up. So if one of us goes down, don't worry, there's probably going to be many other options out there for you. So that way we can all join in together, both in person and online, for this very important event. So now let's go into the question of what this event could realistically accomplish. So we'll start at the low end, and sorry if you heard me say this stuff before, but at the low end, let's just picture it in your head. In front of the White House, many people there, got a big banner, got the sound system, people are speaking. This is why it's very important that we get as many people to show up as possible. So if you have the means to be there, please come there, because a group of 10, 20 people, that can easily be ignored. A group of 100 people, that certainly draws more attention. A group of several hundred or maybe even 1,000 people, there's no way you can ignore that. So the more people we have, the more successful we will be. Now, if you picture in your head this big group of people in front of the White House, naturally, that's going to draw some attention of people walking by, driving by. They're going to want to know what's going on. And you never know how this will affect them. And you never know who knows someone who knows someone who knows someone. So that's the first lowest level accomplishment, is that our message will be able to reach new people, people who may have otherwise never have heard of the XJW message and never have realized how much this Watchtower organization's laws and procedures have the ability to impact them on the outside. Moving up a notch, again, all of these people in front of the White House, that definitely has the potential to attract media attention. Now, we're already trying to get media there. If any of you that live local to the area have any contacts or know how to get the media there, let's work together. Let's make sure that we get those cameras right there while the event is going on, because that will help our message to reach an even wider audience. So now, not only are we reaching the people that are in earshot, we're reaching the entire city, the entire area is now hearing our message. In fact, maybe even the entire country, depending on what news stations come. So that in itself is a very big accomplishment. Again, you never know how something's going to affect somebody. You never know who knows someone who knows someone who knows someone. Going up another notch, again, we're in Washington, D.C., in front of the White House. This is the town where laws are made for the United States. So we have the potential of reaching lawmakers. And if we do that, then we can start to get this ball rolling to get the laws changed to require mandatory reporting in all 50 states. And usually when they make a new law like that, they'll also extend the statute of limitations. So just imagine, even people who are victims of CSA 5 years ago, even 10 years ago, will now have a chance to get some justice, no matter what religion that they're in. Because again, this event is going above, beyond just a religion. This is about everybody. So even people that are not in the witnesses, people that are not in any religious organization, but just in a high control group, and even non-high control groups, will have the chance to get some justice. I think that's something worth fighting for. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, these organizations like the Watchtower, they operate in this country tax-free. So if you made $1 million last year, you're going to have to give like $200,000-300,000 of that back to the IRS at the end of the year. So you're not even a millionaire anymore. The Watchtower and groups like them, they bring in several millions of dollars every year in profits through their investments, through their real estate transactions, through your donations. And they get to bring all that in tax-free. They get to operate in this country tax-free. So this organization is operating in this country tax-free, and yet they have policies that are hurting people within their own organization and people on the outside. Lawmakers need to know about this stuff. This is something, again, worth fighting for. So I really hope that a lot of you out there can make it there. I really hope to meet some of you there. And for the people that can't make it there, again, there will be a live stream set up. So hopefully we can all come together as one big XJW community and come together and support this event and make it into something that cannot be ignored and make it into something that causes true good change in the world. So with all that being said, I want to thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Stay tuned. I have more on the way, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.